Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Sketch Fighters. We are back after, how long have we been out? Sean?
Well, it was a hiatus. It was a significant one.
Like a month? Has it been a month? It's been 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks, I think, maybe. I'm looking through this. I just found this. Shit, I think this is some artwork that I owe some people.
Oh yeah, it never got mailed out. That's a lot.
Well, this one doesn't have a name on it. Does anybody remember who won this one, or did someone claim this one? Spider-Gwen?
That's a nice one.
I don't have a name. This one is Golf Boy. Good thing I found this. I was going to mail out a print to Golf Boy. I can throw this in the print.
Oh, wow. These are like a few years old.
Let me see which ones I have here. This one, the Scarlet Witch one, the football Scarlet Witch. They don't have names on the back, so I'm assuming this just might be a pile of sketches. This was from Halloween last year. Was this last year or the year before? Where we did the Halloween creatures?
Yeah.
With,
it's been a while.
That collab. Max Lerner, Antonelli. No, this one.
Imsco says from the prize wheel. Remember that? That was from that time.
These are from this one. This one was a while ago. This one. Who won this one? I don't think anyone did. Anyone win this one?
I don't even remember that one. What is that?
Oh, what's his name?
The Asian guy.
The comedian.
Oh, you drew a comedian? Where was I? I didn't see that. I don't remember that.
This was he's on that news TV show. Ronnie Chen. Ronnie Chen. This was after Shang-Chi. So this one was kind of old. When in Shang-Chi he says, "I always bet on Asian."
Oh, okay. This is from a long time ago.
This one, who's this one? Oh, Beef Skellington. All right, this one I gotta send to Beef Skellington. What was this one?
You gotta find him first.
Yeah, Beef Skellington. This one.
That's a good one.
Okay, I got a clean sheet. Okay, so I got some paper I can draw on. It's been pre-cut. Let's give this one away. I don't think no one has won that. Let's give that away. Of course, giving them away is fun. Mailing them out to you after you've won them is a completely separate issue. So
that should be your assistant's job.
Alas, you're right. You would think, huh? Is your Jimbo on? Who do we have on today so far? We got a good contingency. Mr. Joshua's online. Way High first in chat. Jamie Odell, we missed you at New York this year. Did you come out? Dr. Midnight, good to see Dr. Midnight. Hope you're doing well. Hope your parents are good. Mr. Joshua, thank you for the resub. 62 months. Woo! That's more than 5 years, Sean. That's more than 5 years. Dr. Midnight, resub 32 months. It's 3 years. Dr. Midnight, thank you so much. Lurky Lurk is here from Canada. I'm kind of rooting for the Blue Jays. They're playing right now. James Quo is online. Good to see James Quo. Hope your New York Comic Con went well. Any follow up from your show? Carson McKinney is online. Thank you, Carson McKinney. Resub 52 months. Damn, we got some longtime followers here. Carson,
I'm in New York too.
Yeah, we saw Carson. I'm going to work on Carson's commission tonight a little bit. I owe Carson a commission. Who else do we have here? Simple Man is here. Good to see Simple Man. Hope Simple Man Jr. is doing good in his football season. Mr. Joshua won something but forgot to claim it. What was it, Mr. Joshua? If you can remind me. K-Pop Junkie. Good to see K-Pop. Sean, you were just on K-Pop's stream.
Yeah, I was just on the show.
Last week, right?
Yeah, lots of fun.
Promoting your upcoming, or your ongoing right now Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Over at Evermind 24/7 Comics. Can't believe you made me say that. All right, let's give away this Halloween one first. If no one has claimed this, or no one has won it, let's give this away. I think, no one won this because this was it was up for claim on the other guy's site that did this with us. Remember who were they? Jerry hooked it up.
Oh, yeah.
So let's do an early giveaway. Sean, you want to text me a letter of the alphabet, A through Z. Open to anybody in chat. A through Z. Finally, we're rewarding the people that show up early. Usually there's a spike at the end when we're giving out stuff in viewership. K-Pop Junkie, thank you for the resub. Sub with Prime. 19 months. Thank you so much, K-Pop. He's doing great in football season, getting some varsity time. Good. That's getting some varsity time. That's always good. When is Sean taking commissions? Always so busy.
Yeah, not until 27, I think.
Sean took some commissions at Baltimore, though, right? Or in New York?
No, well, I did one in Baltimore, and that was in a sketchbook. But yeah, because it's part of the reward tier for the Kickstarter, so I got to get through all of those first before I take on any other ones. So it'll be a while.
Okay. First one we're gonna up for bat today is this this fisher woman catching this creature from the Blue Lagoon.
Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon. Oh, right. Blue Lagoon was Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields. Heavenly creature from the Blue Lagoon.
Okay, I think Lurky, you want anybody else in chat want to type in a letter in the alphabet closest without going over? Otherwise, let's lock it up. Superior Court. Courtney is here.
Hey, she's in the chat. Why in the chat?
Are we going to lock it up? We also saw Jeremy Joe, Agnes. They had a kid. You believe that? They had a little baby.
Oh, okay.
Locked it up. Lurky Lurk locked it up. Okay. The letter that Sean had typed was R as in Robert. R as in robot. for Evermind. I think it looks like Jamie Odell. QR. Q. That's the closest, right? No one said S. Jamie Odell. Okay, let me write this down. I think there's another piece for Jamie too. I've been home for a month now, or 3 weeks since Comic-Con, so my desk has gotten dirty, messy again. It stays clean for a little bit, but then it gets piled up. Okay. Let me write this down. Jamie Odell gets the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
He probably has quite a collection of your stuff.
Yes, I think everybody has at least one. Although Dustin just won one the first time this year. All right. What should we give away? Should we give away? Did we give away the Scarlet Witch one? This was a Scarlet Witch football. I forgot what the theme was for this. And she's nestling the ball right in her bosoms.
NFL Red Zone.
Oh, are we talking about Red Zone? Possibly.
Yeah.
Dr. Midnight, May 21st, 2021. Wow. It's been a while. Simple Man says the Scarlet Witch was also for the Halloween last year. I mean, it had to be around this time of year. Halloween plus football, because there's the Jets, and Jerry's a big Jets fan. Although this is the older Jets revamped uniform. So this might have been 2 years ago. Maybe. Werewolf by Night Creature, Black Lagoon, Scarlet Witch, and Bride of the Frankenstein. Okay, there we go. Simple Man has solved the problem, has solved the issue here. So Courtney doesn't feel too well. She just had dinner. Well, hope you get better.
Echocardiogram, so that sounds pretty serious.
What do they do in that?
I think they
make you drink
check
something?
Your heart from the inside of your body.
Oh.
Yeah.
They stick like a tube inside, like a monitor thing, camera.
You swallow a microphone, I think.
Oh. So, Mr. Joshua, this Spider-Gwen is yours? I haven't sent it out? Okay. If that's the case, here's some more. All right, let's give away the Scarlet Witch. What about this Catwoman Christmas? Or this Wonder Woman?
There's all these great drawings on the back side.
All these lessons that we give out. If we could remember what the lessons were, that'd be great. That'd be even better. So if it was the Halloween, I don't think we gave them out. So there's a Grifter and a Wonder Woman ballpoint pen sketch. I don't think anybody claimed these either. So if nobody claimed these, let's give these out too. So let's see. Let's give the Scarlet Witch one. Sean, do you want to text me a letter between A and Z? Again,
okay.
Another alphabet.
All right.
A letter in the alphabet. Dr. Midnight went to the party. And this is open to, well, I think everybody here tonight. There's nobody new so far. So, open to everybody in chat. DYL Pickle is here too. Good to see. And Jay Dang. Good to see Jay Dang. Jay Dang has been providing me with some helpful hand and shoulder medical advice for free, pro bono. Thank you so much. My finger is still kind of messed up, but it's much better now. I can bend it like 35 degrees or so. It's taped right now. So, Dr. Midnight went to a party in all red suit and shoes to be the devil. Whoa. So, brought contacts printed out on paper, looked old. I guess Halloween is kind of weird because it's Friday this year, or is it Thursday this year? But the parties were all last weekend, but also I guess this weekend too. So you get 2 weekends of Halloween parties. I was a costume contest judge at a party in Little Tokyo, outdoor party. It was kind of interesting. Did you text me? Okay, Sean texted me another letter. This is open to everybody in chat right now. The Scarlet Witch Halloween versus Jets. Too bad Jerry's not here to win this one. Because the player's name is Ma in the back that's tackling the Scarlet Witch. He's got his face buried in her rib cage. Friday, right? Yeah, November 1st is Saturday. K-pop Junk is supposed to be at a con this week, but I'm staying indoors and hiding from people. There were a lot of people that got sick from New York Comic Con. Sean, did you do okay? I know.
No, I got sick.
You got sick.
You got
COVID.
Yeah, I got. Well, it was a wicked cold, and then I was like, oh dang, I got to go to Baltimore. If I get sick, I shouldn't go to Baltimore. Yeah. So I went to Baltimore,
and you got everybody
and
else.
Yojimbo did double duty. He was in New York and Baltimore.
Yeah, Yojimbo was a big help in New York. Is he here tonight?
Yeah, he's voting on trying to get this artwork.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, last call for votes from chat. Last call before Lurky Lurk locks it up. Lurky Lurk, you can lock it up whenever you want. When Lurky Lurk locks it up, that's it. James Cole gonna make a phone call. Oh, Lurky Lurk just locked it up. Thank you, Lurky Lurk. The letter was V, as in the NBC TV show with the aliens invading Earth. Right? V as in victory. Let's see. T-U-V-U. And anybody have U? T? Looks like it's James Quo. Looks like it's James Quo. Nobody went high enough. Well, Yojimbo went Z. I'm fine. I just actually something went down the wrong pipe. Okay, so it looks like it's James Quo, T-U-V, right? My alphabet is correct. James Quo with the Scarlet Witch. And there's something in the back. Somebody getting rammed in the back or some dunked on. Okay, all right.
If Carson wanted, he can ink it. Right? You can do inking practice.
Let's so this one is still Mr. Joshua, the Gwen piece is yours? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Lie.
I'm going on the trust system here, Mr. Joshua. I have to go back and watch all the episodes.
Oh yeah, that's a way you can check.
Yeah. Go back and watch all the episodes. All right, what about this Catwoman? I think this Ronnie Chen, I'm going to save to give to Ronnie Chen if I ever see him. I mean, he's friends with Jerry, so this is a possibility. But let's talk about this Catwoman Christmas holiday Catwoman. Did we give this out? Did anybody claim this? This was a small one, and I got old Master Q drawings on the back. Old Master Q drawings with a Catwoman.
Jeremy Joe won it.
Jeremy Joe won this?
No. No. Oh, there's some cool stuff on the back.
Yeah, there's the old Master Q sketches. I was talking about old Master Q. That's one of the first comics I read as a kid. So, all right. let's see. Sean, can you text me a number? How about this, Sean? Let's make it even more difficult.
Why?
Can you or interesting? Can you text me a date?
Like year or?
Like this year, a date from this year that has not
All
happened
right.
yet. So January 1st all the way through October 28th. Text me a
Okay.
date. This is interesting. Open to anybody in chat. Welcome to the stream, Bullet Concerto. We're giving away some sketches from before that I found. Right now, you have to type in a date from this year, like January 1st or January 2nd. You cannot do anything past October 28th because that's today's date. Person to come closest without going over wins. This should be interesting. This is like a wide open, I mean, maybe this is a kind of difficult because then we got to add up how many days.
That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be hard to figure out who exactly won.
Yeah, next time we'll go back to the alphabet. So Sean, what was your impression of New York so we got some new people in chat now that want to win. First time chat, Snap Art.
What date is 17/2?
I think that's February 17th. Is that are you overseas, European, or in Asia? Do we disqualify that automatically? Thank you, Yojimbo. No free shipping overseas. Unless it's Taiwan, and then I'll ship it when I'm in Taiwan. NZ, New Zealand? Is NZ New Zealand?
Whoa. Whoa.
How much is
Gotta
shipping
be.
from Taiwan to New Zealand? Is it? I would assume it's cheaper than U.S. to New Zealand because it's closer. But I could be wrong. Does anybody want to find out for us?
That will fit in an envelope, so it's like a business size envelope.
Yeah, it'll fit in an envelope, so it's okay. That's why this is kind of I draw them in this size. But you got a Catwoman Christmas ballpoint pen sketch and some Old Master Q. Yeah, New Zealand is expensive from the U.S., but I mean maybe it's an envelope, so maybe like a couple bucks.
All those guys from VV are from New Zealand, as I found out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are they going to invite you to a show in New Zealand?
There's
maybe.
I don't know if
There's a
I go.
Comic-Con in New Zealand. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, there's also one next year in Hong Kong.
There's one in December in Hong Kong, right? Or when is it?
December. Oh, then there's a first-time convention. I think it might be San Diego Comic-Con in Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
In May.
Somebody licensed the San Diego Comic-Con in Hong Kong, like they did in Malagana, whatever, Spain?
Yes. Malaga, yes.
Malaga. Interesting. Are they going to invite us?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, actually, I think they would invite me because I think Carl knows one of the people. And then it all really depends on, Daniel Wu is kind of a good thing and a bad thing because if you bring like Daniel Wu's attached, then of course they want us to go there and promote the comic. But then Daniel Wu has to charge his appearance fee. That's what his agent does, and it's like $1 million. So then that whole deal is over because of that.
He can waive it. Give it to charity.
He can. He waived it for New York Comic Con, but I mean, he's I think his agent probably determines those things.
All right, Lurky Lurk, you want to lock it up? Lurky Lurk has the power to lock it up at any time. Okay, it's locked up. Sean, the date that you sent me?
March 3rd or something like that.
March 31st.
31st.
Is there a
31st,
significance to March 31st?
No, I think that's the problem with picking dates. Everyone's gonna try to look at my birthday or something.
Okay, March 31st. Let's see, the closest without going over. I think it might be K-Pop Junkie.
Yeah, I think it might be K-pop.
Yeah, because Snap Art or Snap R1 or Snap R is, I'm assuming it's February 17th, which is close, but K-Pop did she did the March 5th. Dr. Midnight said February 12th. So it looks like it's K-Pop Junkie. All right. Okay, let me sign this. I hope nobody won this before. If you did, take it up with K-Pop. Where's the pen? Okay. Oh, this is a nice one. It's a cute Catwoman.
Is there cool stuff on the back?
Yeah, and you got some old Master Q. Okay, K-Pop. Okay. All right. What do we got next? I think I might have given the grifter away. Somebody claimed the grifter. Somebody had claimed this grifter. I think it might have been Steve. But I don't think like it was a paid claim. I think it was just like a. Does anybody remember? We had a Wonder Woman and a grifter. These are drawn on comic book backing boards. So let's see. What was this? We had some kind of game here where there's Wonder Woman, Nico, BMI, Way, Agnes, James, 72, Hawaii, 34, 188. What was this? Does anybody remember this? On the back? I don't remember this at all. My memory is. I mean, Way, Agnes, and James. 72, 34, 188. Hawaii. Anybody? Anybody in chat remember? Sean, do you remember this?
I actually can't see it right now. I'm rebooting my screen froze, but I'll probably remember if I saw it.
It looks like the periodic tables or some kind of boxes that it wrote. K-pop we picked. Oh, I think there was the scratch off ticket numbers. So did somebody win the grifter? Grift already? Batman 1, Batman 2, Wonder Woman, Grifter, Catwoman. Oh, so Simple Man has really good memory. I mean, Way, is Way High still here? Do you remember your name being on this? And who was C? So were these the people that won? So somebody won the Catwoman? Was it James? Then I have to take back K-pop's Catwoman piece.
What?
Do you see this chart on the back? This was on the back of the grift. Oh, C for Carson McKinney. Carson, do you remember this? Anybody? While we're waiting, then let's. I think this one doesn't have any names on it. Wonder Woman sketch. S for Superior Court. Where's the S? GS. Or hold off. What about this? What about this butthead? This butthead has. This is when we started doing the. I guess this must have been when I came back from Abu Dhabi. We started the sketch battle. You know, because this is Pepe the Pig, and then I drew a pig. This is like from like 2 years ago. But here's a sketch of Butthead. Butthead's sleeping right now. Well, Kaylee, Athena. Nobody remembers. Okay, let's give away the Wonder Woman then. I'll hold off on the grifter. Sean, what should you text me?
How about just a number between 1 and 100?
All right, a number between 1 and 100. Closest without going over. Open to anybody in chat. Open to anybody in chat. Number from 1 to 100. And oh, no one's gonna guess this one. From 1 to 100, closest without going over for this Wonder Woman sketch, if it has not been given away already. Otherwise, if you watch this at a later date on repeat, a lot of people watch this show on YouTube. If you watch this on YouTube at a later date, then take it up with whoever is going to win this. All right. Simple Man, you're changing yours to 100? Oh, okay. Lurky Lurk, are you guessing? Lurky Lurk guessed 23. Okay. Bullet Concerto. Who's Bullet Concerto? Have we... Oh, Lurky Lurk locked it up. He did the quick lockup. He's very confident in his guess. Lurky Lurk did the quick lockup. Bullet has been here before, yes. I just don't recall from where. Where are you located, Bullet Concerto? Sean, the number you gave me was
80 something.
Jay. Oh, hey, Jay. 82. Why 82? Was that a significant year, 82?
No. It looks like Mr. Joshua might have taken that one.
Are you in... Well, Mr. Joshua's 88, but he went over.
Oh, so you can't go over?
And so, yeah, you got closest without going over. And it looks like Bullet Concerto.
Oh.
Perhaps it's Bullet Concerto. So, Bullet Concerto, if you can, congratulations. Let me write this down.
Oh, so that goes to Canada.
Canada? All right, pick a new number. Okay, Bullet Concerto, if you can DM me on Instagram with your address, I might trim this. Maybe I can trim it. Fit in an envelope. What do you think?
It's really, really thin. Heavily cropped.
Yeah, like it would just be the head. I'm just gonna trim the head, you know.
And then it shows up with just a stamp and an address on the backside.
Yeah. It's a postcard, right? I'm gonna send this as a postcard, Bullet Concerto, a 6x9 postcard, right? You're okay with that? I mean, that's gonna. How much is a postcard stamp to Canada? I do hope where in Canada, I do hope the Blue Jays win. Whenever the Dodgers win a World Series, they destroy downtown LA. The fans, quote unquote fans. They're not really fans, but $2. $2 Canadian or $2 US?
Well, you should just send him a scan then. Okay.
Just freeze frame this. Can you freeze frame this on your computer?
Yes. Take a screenshot and then.
Yeah. All right. I'll try to get it out. Postcard is $2. Okay. I'll save the grifter for later.
Yeah, James Crow did win something earlier. I forgot what it was.
James Crow won the Scarlet Witch, right? James Crow, is he back? He won the Scarlet Witch. Okay, I think that is it for the. What's this? What's this? Oh, that's James Crow's line. Okay. All right. This is the stash here. Let's save this to give this out later. Well, we have the butthead sketch. I'll give this out later, maybe. I don't know. I don't think anybody wants a butthead sketch.
These will all still be here a year from now.
Yeah, we're gonna do the stream again next year. This time,
And then
So-
really get sent out.
if you didn't win, you still have a shot to win it next year. So don't you know? And then again,
Oh, James Cole said he would wants to donate the piece to Jerry.
oh, okay.
Because you know, it has Jerry's name on it and stuff. I don't know. It's very nice.
Beef
Very nice.
jelly.
You can use it as inking practice. Come on.
Yeah, you can use it to ink. Jerry's all right. Let me see if I have anything else. And then this one is Golf Boy. Golf Boy's not here. Plankton with Masters of the Universe. It's Plankton right there. That's the. This was a one-eye Cyclops. I think that was the theme for this sketch. Okay. Yojimbo, what did you think of? Any thoughts on New York Comic Con versus Baltimore?
Yeah, I guess he was able to go to both shows because of the goddamn shutdown, right?
The government shutdown. Oh, I still have this to finish. Yes, this one's almost done.
Oh, and your booth was very chaotic. You know, you were bringing. Do you have an estimate as how many people you brought into the show with that one badge?
Well, Yojimbo had his own badge, so he could come and go whenever he wanted. He wasn't tethered to our badge system. Oh, and this one. These are for Heroes Initiative. I gotta finish these. And then, oh, this was. Where's Carson's sketch? I think this was Carson's sketch. It's erased. Let me look through my folders. Well, we got a bunch of people in. What about Baltimore? How was that? Was there anything? Usually something happens in Baltimore. There's like a hurricane or a fire or like a huge cult mass gathering.
It was fine. It was good. You know, everyone that I was there with, like the artists, were really happy because they made a lot of money, which I didn't think was going to happen. But I think what happened was a lot of the collectors went to New York to browse and talk and see stuff, and then they brought their money to Baltimore.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people stayed afterwards. This is I have to finish these commissions.
People are waiting for those commissions.
Yeah. And I have Carson's and another one or two more, 2 or 3 more. I got a few done, but it was so chaotic at the show and with deadlines on this new book. Actually, Thursday there's going to be an announcement on my new book.
Oh.
This is Matthew Crossart's. That's true. Well, I mean, New York Comic Con was fun, I guess, but it was also stressful, and it was a little. Yes, Matthew Crossart. This Destro. He won this a while ago.
I like that moment at New York Comic Con for you, where worlds collided, where your current girlfriend got to meet an old girlfriend.
Right.
I was like, what's up with that? That was like, when you call, I'm like, are you kidding me?
That was interesting, huh? Interesting moment in life.
But Sharon was extremely cool about it. She's like, it's completely fine.
Yeah, she's a cool girl. Sharon, she's a really I mean, you know, Jeannie was an ex, and then Sharon is, my girlfriend now, and Jeannie has a new boyfriend. So there's nothing to be like.
Was that the person with her? There was a guy with her. Was that the boyfriend?
Yeah. So there's nothing like.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like she was there to, she was just there to say hello, catch up a little bit.
Still, she would wear a sausage skin one-piece dress thing.
It was very tight. It's very tight.
Very tight.
Let's see. Bullet Concerto says he sent the 5x7 to the States the other day, and it was $2. Okay, all right, $2. That's not bad. $2. We can afford $2.
Okay, so you cut it in half. You can send it for one. You know.
Yeah, 5x7. Let me measure that one. Where was it?
5x7 is a standard postcard, I think.
Is it? I just had a ruler here. What did I do with the ruler? Oh, here. So if we took this as a 5x7. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean that's about the. I mean the other ones are all really like they're 6x9, but 5x7. Yeah, we can get away. I mean, this is the usual envelope that I mail them out in. I also have a set of yellow envelopes. So this is, this is 9. This is 6x9. So this might be $3. We'll see. Okay. Well, I can't find Carson's sketch, so I think I'm just going to start on this.
In New York, there was a picture of you with Gary V. So you met Gary V?
Yeah, I don't know who he is. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, he's huge. He's like, I don't know. I mean, there's like a Tony Robbins type guy, like they're just high energy and they're influencers and they are self-help gurus.
Mm-hmm.
He is a business marketing genius type guy, probably involved a little bit with crypto.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, he's a big guy. He came into my DMs once, and who really likes him a lot is I think Crispy Papa. I think is he is basically big to the point of being like a cult leader type guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's I've been in touch with his people.
Yeah. I wanted to meet him. I saw him. He was set up there, but I didn't think he himself was there.
I mean, Ace knew everybody that came by. I'm like completely oblivious to some of the people. So, ASAP Ferg came by. He's like a big hip hop guy, rapper. I didn't know who he was. Ace was like, oh,
not Ace Rocky, right?
Huh?
ASAP who?
ASAP Ferg.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
There's a whole there's a whole group of artists that are ASAP something. So there's an ASAP Rocky, and then there's an ASAP Ferg. Yojimbo said Baltimore.
And also, yeah, he spotted Daniel Wu, and I was talking to Ace. Like, Daniel Wu hates it when people ask him to take a picture with him, but makes him do a martial arts pose, like they're squaring off.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, "Oh, that's cool." And then he goes over to Daniel Wu and he's like, "Hey, do you mind if we take another picture? But I want to do one where we're posing like we're fighting."
So did he do that?
No, he said he was just joking. But Daniel Wu started putting down his stuff like he was going to do it.
Oh, well, there you go. You might be able. I mean, I told Ace you can't go unless until you ask, right? You won't never know.
Yeah. So yeah.
ASAP Mob. DYO Pickle says ASAP. There's an ASAP Mob. Yeah, so we'll see. Baltimore had a race and protest on Saturday. That's the biggest day of the show.
Oh yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, and they have that marathon, and they block off all the roads. And then I think that the protest was at the No Kings thing.
Oh, No Kings was on that Saturday too. Yeah. I'm upgrading Carson's to an 11 by 14, uh, almost a full body.
What character did you want?
Uh, what character did you want? I have it written down somewhere.
Wonder Woman.
No, it was hold on, I know what character it was.
As you just started drawing, not knowing who the character was, as if you can just draw whatever.
What
Just put a
character
costume on him.
was it? I had it written down. Let me look it up. Let me look it up.
Well, isn't he in the chat?
He is, but let me look it up. Um, uh, it's a character I've drawn before. Let me hold on. Sean, you're making me look bad. What is the price of crypto right now? How much is the Bitcoin?
It's probably very high. But I remember like a year ago at this time, I think we were thinking that crypto was dead.
112,000.
And that's the time you should buy.
Okay. It's on my Google Drive. How do I open my Google Drive? Oh, I got the app. It's a Google Drive app.
Yeah, Yojibo pointed out that people like the Nightwing print that I had, which is weird. I never knew about this Nightwing love.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a B or C list character, but he's so popular.
What were you saying, Sean? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Oh, man, did I freeze up again? Oh no. People like the Nightwing print that I had. So, have you ever wondered why people like Nightwing so much, especially a lot of Asian people, girls?
Girls. Well, Nightwing. Like a lot of girls like Nightwing, cause he's like, I. I guess we can open up the chat.
Yeah. Why is that?
My theory is that he's like a younger Batman. Like Batman is kind of like your dad, right? I mean, he's been around for a while, but Nightwing is Robin grown up. So he's kind of like, in his 20s, right? So he's just like a younger version of Batman without the baggage of Batman in a sense, right? Like Batman is this kind of playboy billionaire, but Nightwing,
He's probably a lot more dangerous and a lot more like a cloud of negativity hangs over Batman, whereas Nightwing, younger, supple limbs. I don't know. Looks more like a K-pop guy.
I mean, I think it does. I think it's just it's a little bit. I'm not using the word. I don't want to use the word edgy, but a little bit more contemporary. And like I would think like Batman, Bruce Wayne. His reputation is that he's like Tony Stark. Like he's had a lot of girlfriends, right? He's a kind of a playboy. So maybe Nightwing's a little bit more innocent than that, yet still has access to the Batcave and all this cool stuff, and sort of, right? Younger, happier Batman. Yeah, not as trauma ridden as Bruce Wayne, right?
And he has a perkier rear end. Right?
And he has when I drew him with a tush. Some of the shots were gratuitous tush shots. There was a scene where he's like stripping in the. Let me see if I can pull it up. Now, is Kyle Rayner is the is the sketch. Actually, I'm gonna
Wow,
erase
you
this
blocked it
first.
in really fast.
Yeah, I'm gonna erase this because this is pretty much what I had drawn before.
So you're erasing this, even though most of the body's already done.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep something similar, but I think I want to do something a little bit more coming at us. Let me find that Nightwing gratuitous butt shot. I don't know if anybody really. If anybody's really said anything about it. By the way, what's going on with Salvation Run? I think you got another like $5,000-$10,000 check coming to you for free from DC. Huh?
I don't know. Does it work like that? I don't. Does it really spike the royalties at all?
Well, you're gonna have probably
because
another.
they're aftermarket sales.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about from like movie premiere.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Jeez.
You got a handful of money from being Fantastic Four. And then the next DC universe, the next DC narrative is going to be Salvation Run, where they're going to lock up all the prisoners on this planet. I don't know if it's going to extend outside of the Peacemaker universe, but if it does, wow, that's great.
And that's another opening I will not attend.
How lucky do you get to be, Sean?
Yeah, I don't know. I always said like I Forrest Gump my way through this business. I don't know how these things happen because anything that we could have done can be plucked out of obscurity and become popular at any time. And yeah, so this is one of those things like no one was more surprised than me. Actually, there was one person who was more surprised than me that this happened, and that was Dan DiDio. Because did you see when I was on Survival House talking about Salvation Run, and then I mentioned like this is really a Dan DiDio thing, and you really should have him on here because this is all his idea. And then, like 10 minutes later, he came on. They just said they have him on the line, and he was brought into the show.
So what did he?
And he just basically recounted what he told us on here. Remember when I said that I was watching a lot of Dan DiDio interviews, and someone asked them what was the highest moment at DC, and what was his lowest moment?
Right.
What was the project that didn't work out? And then for the lowest one, he said, "Oh, there was this thing we did called Salvation Run." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I did that." So that's when I had that complex. It kind of bothered me. And then I mentioned it on the show. And then, of course, Fletch is always on the show. And he happened to be just touring with Dan DiDio. And then he showed up on the show, on our show the next day. And I was able to ask him directly, like, why was that the biggest disappointment? So, of my entire career, that was the project that was kind of like the big nothing burger, like the one that you would forget that I ever did. But then it gets plucked out of obscurity, and then now it was the number one book for a while. Maybe still is, I don't know. But yeah, this business is weird. It's what makes it fun.
When does the next season come out? I mean, I think that's when you're probably going to see the spike, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Like this is all like secondary market stuff. So anyone who bought one a while back can flip it. So maybe they'll have a trade. They probably will, and then I'll get a little bit. I'm not sure when the last time I got a DC royalty check was, though.
Well, did they ever collect the Salvation Run into a trade paperback or no?
I'm sure they did.
Well, here you go. These were 2 Nightwing pages. Actually, the one on the right is page 10.
Did someone buy that?
I don't recall. I mean, I don't see it, so someone must have.
Take it to Japan and someone will buy it.
Yeah, so basically he sneaks into this bad guy's casino hotel disguised as a male stripper for a bachelorette party at the casino club. So he's there with the bride to be and a bunch of girls, ladies stuffing dollar bills in his tidy whities. And then the second page is kind of him making his way outside of the club and then putting on his Nightwing outfit, taking all the money that he's made and handing it to an old lady leaving the casino.
That's funny. Did you scan in that? You know what? I tried. I had to do something where I had to draw a $20 bill, so I scanned a $20 bill in, and then before it finished scanning, my printer, oh not my printer, my I think maybe it was Photoshop, just said nope.
Oh. I think I used, it was a while ago, this was 2018, so I think I used maybe an image on Google, like $1, or like a some kind of Google search for money, and then I did do a filter in like Photoshop to kind of blur out some of the details, so you still got the main shapes that kind of made it look like recognizable from afar as money, but yeah. What is the legal?
Yeah, Jimbo knows how to scan. It says Jimbo says the scanners in Photoshop have security built in so to prevent people from copying money. But he says, as you know, a little bit of FYI, helpful hint here. If you want to counterfeit, is to scan halves and then patch them together.
Oh, we don't want to get taken down.
So we know. Yeah, that's a little helpful hint.
They
the
have
more you know.
You know, for the movies, they have like prop money, and the prop money looks almost identical, except when it says United States of America, it says like prop house, you know, prop money. But you have to get really close to see that. So most of it is, you know, when you're looking at it from a distance, you can't tell. I think I need to sketch out some poses first. I'm gonna draw for another hour, and then I gotta get back to my my deadline. So, trying to get a jump start on this new book. But any more shows for the year, or that's it? I know.
I gotta do one in New York. Big Apple Comic Con.
Big Apple, so that's at the Penn Plaza Hotel or something?
Yeah, in November. Like these things, I don't know if I really want to do them, but they ask you a year ahead of time. It's like, hey, you want to do a show in next year in November? I'm like, yeah, sure. And then it gets to about right now, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. But there's the ad. There's my face.
November. So it's coming up.
Yeah, and I'm not really doing commissions for a while, so I don't know what I'll be doing there other than just. And the Evermind campaign will be over by then, so I don't know what I'll be doing. Just shaking hands. And
do you have any?
Doing whatever.
Do you have any Salvation Run books?
No. No books or artwork.
No artwork. You sold all of it?
Well, it's one of those things where you sell all the good stuff, and then there's artwork you carry around from show to show for like years, and then some dealer will come by. It's like, I'll buy the lot for this flat amount, and then they bought the whole thing.
Okay. Why don't you do? Who are the main characters on Salvation Run? It was
It's
Lex Luthor,
Lex and Joker.
Lex Luthor, Joker. I mean, the Penguin was in it. I think I remember seeing Cheetah was in it.
Yeah, they're all all the villains are in it.
And what was the premise of that?
So that was it's just okay. So Danny Dio says that I think he was looking through the flat files for like story ideas that he might want to make a big event out of. So we saw this one pitch by George R. Martin. So we called the George R. Martin and said, like, this sounds really good. You want to do it? It's sort of like Game of Thrones in the DC universe. And then he was like, no, but you can use it. And then so they got Bill Willingham to write it.
Right.
And I think you want an artist on there to kind of like make the news. So I had never worked for DC before. So I was a Marvel guy. And then this is one of those things where some people you can build a little buzz around your name by jumping ship and going to the other side. So I think Dan's been trying to get me to go over to DC for like a couple of years. So this is just timing where like, all right, this is the year I'm doing it. And then it was also the same year that he was thinking about Salvation Run being their big event. So it just kind of, you end up being on a book just like that. I don't know if they really thought like, is this a good fit? But it was just like that project and that artist at the time. And then I was saying like on Swaggle House's show, there was a shit show, that whole project.
Right. I remember when you were working on it, there was a lot of complications.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest one is that I had my first, had my son, my first child at that time. And it was just hard to focus on work. And then, and Bill Willingham, which he kind of has this reputation of
flaking.
I don't know, he just kind of took off. Took off, and then this other person had to be brought on.
Sean.
And it was his assistant.
Yeah. Was Salvation Run before your? What was the book that we swapped books? You and I. You were gonna draw one issue of Supergirl, and I was gonna draw an issue of. Was it Action Comics? And then
I don't know.
We swapped. I ended up drawing that issue of Supergirl. And then you ended up drawing that issue, I think, of Action Comics because it had the first appearance of Death. Or the first reappearance of Death since...
Yeah, the first official appearance of Death in the regular
in the DC universe. Yeah. That was Action Comics?
Yeah.
And then so was that before Salvation Run, or was that during or after Salvation Run?
I don't know. But that's another lucky thing because that was, being the first appearance of Death. I sold that one page. It was like $1,000.
Yeah. No, I had I was supposed to draw that book. And then you were like, oh, I was like, I don't really want to draw. Was it a Superman story or was it something else?
The one with Death?
Yeah.
It was it was a Superman story.
Yeah, so I think
it had Lois Lane. Yeah. Superman wasn't in it, but
yeah, and then so you were assigned to Supergirl and I was like, hey, why don't we talk to the editor? We can switch since it was just a one issue kind of fill-in situation. Right? You only drew one issue of that, right?
Yeah. So, I think it featured Lois Lane and some maybe Gorilla Grodd, something like that.
Yeah. So you got the first appearance of Death at the end in the DC universe, and then after that was ended up being Salvation Run. Right? Or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, it was all a blur to me.
So this sketch is coming along, getting a little bit. I think this arm is a little. Yeah. Well, and that was how many years ago was that?
So Salvation Run was when my son was born, so like 2007.
Yeah, I remember watching the Dio on another podcast and him saying the question being popped up like, well, did he ever have any kind of regrets at DC? And
Yeah,
that was the one book. And I think not. I don't think it was because of you, Sean. I think it was just because uh, of the other parties involved
yeah. I think
flaking.
the
And
thing that
hmm?
the, the thing that bothered him most is that he wanted to build up to it in a situation where like one by one villains are disappearing from the DC universe, and you don't know what happened to them, and then it will reveal that they're all on a planet somewhere. But since the upper management wanted the big events to happen quickly on a very quick timeline, it just popped out of nowhere, and then it just didn't have the proper build up or the proper time to develop it properly. So it just came out, and it did fine, and I think everyone was happy with it. But Dan just thought it would be like so much. It would have been really great if he was able to roll it out the way he wanted to. It'd take like an entire like year or year and a half to set it up, but it just had to go immediately.
Right. You know what would be cool is like next year when the new Peacemaker season comes out, if you could pull out your scripts and kind of or create a plot line like a chart, and then we can compare if there are similarities and where they might have deviated from the original.
Oh, I think it's already deviated because Salvation Run the comic was really about Lex Luthor and Joker, and I think when Peacemaker, I think James Gunn said like, yeah, it's not going to be anything the same at all, but just the concept of a planet where all the villains go.
Right.
I think that's as much as he's going to take from it.
I mean, I always thought it was a cool idea because I think one of my very favorite comics initially that really got me, from 0 to 60 in terms of collecting comics and going to the comic book shop every week or every month, was Secret Wars, and this idea of combining all of your heroes and all of your villains into one area and then having a big battle, which is what DC is doing right now with KO, right, or something like that. I don't know the exact specifics of KO, but Salvation Run is like where you get all the villains, and then put them in a planet or scenario or setting where they're trying to battle it out and escape or whatever. Which DC. I mean, a lot of the heroes they're great heroes because of the great villains that they have. The colorful villains that exist in the universe, right? So
yeah, the prison planet is a lot like Australia was to the British, right?
Right.
You try to put everyone, and I think one interesting thing I found out fairly recently is there is a group of people, like these days people believe all sorts of things, or believe that Australia doesn't really exist, and because it's so far away. But one of the main reasons is because like if you can imagine like if the British were saying that they're going to take all the prisoners and then just send them to this paradise island that's far, far away on the outside of the world called Australia, and they're just going to live there, and they're just out of our hair, and we're going to spend the time and effort and money to send them there. You would think that what they're really doing is just putting all the prisoners on a boat and then just sailing out just beyond the view of everyone and just pushing them all into the water.
Mm.
And then just coming back and say, yeah, they're living out their best life in this paradise island. Obviously, they just had to all walk the plank. So, but lo and behold, Australia does exist, and they were sending them there. And so, but the reason why people still believe it doesn't exist is because if someone asked an AI chatbot whether Australia exists, and the AI said it doesn't, that it's a fictional place.
Really, what do you mean the prison or the continent or the island or the country?
Yeah, I think that because the AI chatbot, like it was in the early days of AI, you ask it a question and sometimes it gets it wrong, it just did say that Australia doesn't exist, and it was just like some place that the British say that they were sending their prisoners. So that belief actually took hold. But have you been to Australia? Because I figure it'd be very easy to debunk that.
Well,
Right? 'Cause-
Crispy Papa on our stream is from
Yeah.
Australia.
right?
Is Crispy on the stream today?
But can you believe there are people who believe it doesn't exist?
Well, there's people that believe the Earth is flat. I think believing that Australia doesn't exist. What's a wilder theory? Believing that Australia doesn't exist, or believing that the world is flat? What's crazier?
Yes.
Intruder Timmy has a fake $100 bill that he found somewhere. Huh.
Jimbo probably made it.
Maybe. I mean, what's crazier? That the people that believe the world is flat, or people that don't believe Australia exists? And is there any crossover?
The number of people who are flat earthers is insane.
What do you think of this pose here? I want to shift it a little bit.
It's cool.
I don't know. It does feel like this area is kind of nice, but somehow I think I need to tie it in a little bit better. Drawing on paper after drawing on digital on the iPad, I do think that if you draw too much on the iPad, which I've been doing quite often lately now, it does deteriorate a little bit of your skill set when you're drawing on paper.
I think most people, when they do commissions, they actually do most of it digitally and then only ink it on a blue line printout.
Oh,
so they've completely lost the ability to draw on paper.
Yeah. And this is... Drawing on paper is... There's something about it. I just haven't figured out the psychological component of it, or the mental component of it, but there is a slight detachment. And I don't know if it's because my early hypothesis or theory is that when you're drawing digitally, the idea or the ability to erase and delete and restart is instantaneous or near instantaneous. So whereas when you're drawing on paper, every stroke you put down, even though I can erase because it's pencil, there still has to be a little bit more consideration for it. So there's a little bit more care placed in every stroke that the hand makes. So that, does that make any sense? So if you're drawing digitally all the time, not every, you're just putting down strokes to put down strokes. Whereas even though I'm drawing with a pencil, there's still this semi-permanency to the line, which then somehow, I don't know. I haven't fully thought out this thing yet.
Just imagine, like, this is digital is a tool that helps you, and because you use it, there's a slight degradation in your skill. Imagine if you just went all out and used AI. just imagine that the sheer degradation, or your skills just disappear.
Well, I mean, there is no skill involved at that point.
Yeah.
Because all it is you're prompting. You're just.
Yeah, I would say if you're creative, do not even once, don't even touch AI. But if you're a company and you just want to make profits, then it makes a product, but it doesn't really help you become a creative type.
I have last week I have a story where I almost got selected to be on a jury. I think I told you this briefly in text.
Yeah.
But it would have been cool. I was thinking about it. I was actually selected, like, on the jury already, and they were asking questions of the jurors, the lawyers, to decide who they wanted for the case. But I was already juror number. I had a number assigned to me, like a low number, single-digit number. So I was sitting in the courtroom in those 2 rows where the jurors would sit, and they were asking basic questions initially, and I was kind of like, man, conflicted, because on one hand I want to do my civic duty, I think I would be a great juror, but on the other hand, man, I got this deadline, and there's no way I can sit in a jury for like 8 hours a day, and then I got to go home and work, and then come back the next day for like 2 weeks. They're like, this case is going to be like almost 10 days or so, up to 2 weeks, and and it was a murder case, so it was serious, because you're deciding. They said the death penalty wasn't involved, but it was still a murder case, and then 2 attempted murder charges. So it was still, I mean, that's real life heavy duty shit. But then it's just like, as a freelancer, I can't take the time off. And then Sean, you made the comment like, "Oh, it would have been cool if it was like if it was the P Diddy case. Afterwards, I can do the P Diddy graphic novel, right?"
Yeah. So you can either do the courtroom sketch, or you can do the
or do the
the
courtroom
pilot.
sketch. Yeah, I could do the
Yeah.
bust out my iPad, start doing the courtroom sketch. While I'm there was no courtroom sketch artist at the time. There was the judge, the lady that types really fast. What is that? The stenographer or the
Stenographer, yeah.
And then there was the defendant and his lawyer and the public, and the people's lawyer, the prosecutor. And then the room there's like 24 of us that were selected, but then the room also was filled with other potential jurors in case they were going to run through all of us. So yeah, and you could, like, you're listening to other people answering questions like, where are you from? What do you do? What would make you a good juror? And you could clearly tell that most of the people were trying to get out of jury duty. Like a girl was like, "Oh, I don't think I'd be able to be on a murder case. I need to be transferred to like a civil case, and I can't look at gory pictures of like a dead body." And it's just a little like outrageous, but I didn't do any drawings to the jury. You're not supposed to, like, in the jury room, you can't take out your phone. I had my iPad out and I did a little sketching at the time when they were asking everybody else questions. But I think if they had saw me doing that, they probably would have confiscated my iPad. So I didn't want to risk it. So then I put it away and I didn't keep it out. I didn't take it out for the rest of the day. But I was there the entire day. And at the end, I got excused from the trial. The prosecutor didn't like me. So, although I think the defendant would have liked me. But it was interesting too, like watching them watching the lawyers talk and asking questions compared to like we see that on TVs and movies, right? They're like so well polished in the movies, but like in real life, um, people make, it's like they're not as super polished as you think they are. What you see on a movie or TV show. I don't know if anybody here has been on a jury. Green Lantern, Kyle Rayner, yes. Sean, have you been on a jury before or no?
I've never been selected.
So my main thought for this sketch is Kyle Rayner uh, walking through, like emerging through a cloud of smoke. So like he's like the heroic moment where when the smoke clears, here comes our hero. And Carson, why did you pick this character? Out of curiosity. You're still here. And actually, I forgot to ask, was there a version of Kyle Rayner that you like? Because there's a couple of them, right? My art agent did not figure out to ask what version of Kyle Rayner
He's still learning the ropes.
you would like. So I've upgraded the sketch to well, it's almost a full body. That's the thing, right? The longer it takes to do the sketch, like the more. If it took like a few more months, I start adding like other Green Lanterns in the background or villains. I guess the art tip for the day: when you're erasing, you can keep some of the crumbs on the paper, and then I like to use it to kind of re-rub the paper a little bit, and it takes off some of the lead.
What is that thing that architects use? That kind of sack that has shavings in it, and that's basically when you drag a ruler over the paper. You don't smear the pencil with the ruler because it's riding on top of all these little
Right.
rubber.
It's not talcum powder, but kind of like a powdery thing, and it keeps because
like
the vellum, the
thing.
tracing paper is very thin, right? And so it keeps like a haze on the tracing paper. So I forgot if it's for inking or if it's for drawing with a pencil, so that you don't smudge
it. Can't be for inking.
You don't think it's for inking, so it's for drawing with a pencil that doesn't smudge, or
yeah. Someone told me that like if you use a ruler a lot, the ruler will start to rub the pencil graphite all over the place until it's all smeared. But you put that stuff on, and then it doesn't touch the graphite ever because it's rolling on top of this layer of dust.
Exactly. It's like a layer of baby powder. You put it on your paper, and they kind of.
I bet they don't sell that anymore. But you probably people find it.
Well, I don't think people. I think you can make it. If you wanted to.
A sock with eraser shavings.
I mean, my architecture class was the last class that didn't have to learn the computer, AutoCAD. So afterwards, every class had to learn AutoCAD. So I don't know how much, in terms of architecture, how much people actually hand draw anymore. Even blueprints. I mean, I think a lot of that is all just AutoCAD.
Yeah, Simple Man said he used that back in high school. What's interesting, when I went to Carnegie Mellon and I was in the industrial design program in Wing Hall, which is like one of the buildings across the way, there was this giant thing called the Hell chromatograph machine. And one time, like I went by and the class was like, "We're gonna go look at this thing. It's called a Hell chromatograph. It's as big as a room, and you go in there, and they took this photograph, like a regular photograph, like a Polaroid, and they put it on this, taped it to this drum that spun around. And then what it did, by spinning it, it was able to pixelize the entire photograph. And then you turn the photograph 90 degrees and then spin it around again. And then it just converted that photograph into tiny pixels to the point where it's so tiny that if you step back, it just looked like exactly like the photograph. And that allowed you to select certain portions and move it around. And they said, like, this is going to be the big in the future. You're not going to be able to trust any photograph anymore because any photograph can be manipulated. It's like, and they took this picture of like from the royal wedding, like Princess Di, and it's like, see this guy on a horse here, this soldier? We're gonna duplicate him and put it here, and we just increase the number of soldiers on horseback around her carriage. And like, you're not gonna be able to trust photos anymore. It's gonna be called Photoshop.
So
I was like, all right. I saw the beginnings of Photoshop, and it was the size of a room.
So it wasn't it was a computer, but you said it was a machine.
Yeah, well, it was called the Hell chromatograph. So it was a machine to instead of a scanner, it had this big machine that I guess physically took in the photograph, and then the computer can manipulate the dots by selecting and stuff. So it was the very, very first steps of Photoshop.
And you were there
at Carnegie Mellon. I was there when they brought it out and they invented it there.
Isn't that where the internet started too?
Yes. So yeah, and the internet. One of the very first things was the internet, so that everyone's computer in the school was linked together. And one of the first things they did is, like, there's this Coke machine that dispensed glass bottles of Coke, and it was in Wayne Hall. And so there's this guy that updated every day the number of Cokes in there, so that if you want one, you can go on this futuristic thing called the internet and then order your Coke, and then they would reserve one for you, and then you can just go by Wayne Hall and pick it up later on. And they were saying, like, oh, this is going to be worldwide pretty soon. It's going to be a worldwide internet that connects the world. And I was like, yeah, right, okay. But yeah, that was the birthplace of the internet and Photoshop, right when I was going to school there. Oh yeah, so Dr. Midnight says there's a device called a Lucy that allows you to project. I think Drew Struden, who just passed away, used that Lucy to do all of his poster paintings, drawings.
Yeah, Lightbox was just, speaking of which, Lightbox was just this weekend here at Pasadena.
Oh yeah.
I have never gone. Anybody in chat go to Lightbox?
And that's the one I'd most want to go to, because it seems like it's a real convention. Like when you go to a plumber's convention, it's professionals talking about advancements in the industry, whereas a comic book convention is just where fans show up and then you try to sell stuff to them. So Lightbox seems to be like a true convention for illustrators.
I know Tommy was there. I'm not feeling the sketch anymore. I don't know. He looks kind of like like he's like lifting luggage. This face looks a little. I know this face is skewed. I can just tell it's skewed based off of where I'm sitting.
I was meaning to ask you this question, and I'm not sure what precipitated it, but you used to draw noses much longer.
Yes.
And then one time on the show, he's like, "Oh, I made this nose too long. I noticed that I've drawn noses too long previously, and now you're just drawing them shorter." So I wonder, like, what started you thinking that you drew them too long? And then also, your career is basically bisected in the years where you drew noses too long and then the years where you drew them correctly. And do you not acknowledge any of the artwork you did when the noses were too long? And then also, in terms of percentage, have you been drawing noses too long longer than you've been drawing them at the right size?
That is a good question.
I mean, because that would be horrible, right? Like, I don't acknowledge the first 15 years of my career because of something. It's like, that's a big chunk of your career that you don't really, that you have a bad feeling about, you know?
Well, when I look at old art, some old art, they're like the faces of people that I drew had a really long nose and a really long face. And it's kind of weird because usually they say when you draw, your people in some ways kind of look like you or exhibit features that you might have. And I don't have a very long nose. I just have a big head, but I don't have a very long nose. Actually, I just saw this the other day on eBay. Let me pull this up. This is very interesting.
I did notice it, but I thought it was just a style, and it's a type of it's a look also. Like when you draw the women, they kind of look like a little bit exotic, like Pocahontas, where the nose is longer, slightly hooked, and then the forehead is sloped and smaller. And you would think like that will make an ugly person, but it's actually quite attractive. It's a look.
It's yeah. It has a slightly exotic or ethnic look to it. There was where was this? I saw this on eBay the other day, and I was like, oh, I was so disgusted by it.
Whenever you try to bring back a drawing from the past, you do a lot of like digital correcting now, right? So
yeah, when sometimes I'm making like a print or something, and okay, let me see and pull this up here. Show this Google eBay. And I think I'm going to stop on this drawing.
I think someone would just take that drawing as is.
I think I need to look up some reference for color. Did Carson McKinney answer which version of?
No, I think he's not here. Okay. You better go yell at your art agent.
All right, this was a old Wonder Woman. And you can kind of see like, well, a couple things. Like I look back at this drawing, and this drawing comes up quite often because I made prints of this, and this was like it started off initially as a commission sketch, and then I turned it into a print. Her hands are kind of big, and her face is a little bit longer. This one is actually not a bad face, but it is a little bit longer than what I would draw now. The nose and the... Let's see, let's enlarge this up some more.
Hey, it's a look. I mean, of all the people who might look like that, I think because she's an Amazon, you know how people often draw her head too small?
Oh,
so she looks...
I mean, she would be
more mature.
Slightly Mediterranean, Middle East, not Middle East, but Mediterranean. So there would be features that would kind of look like that. But there was also, let me find this other one.
And she also is sporting what they call an arrow nose, where the middle points downward more than, the pixie look where the nose ski jumps upward.
Yeah. And that was very popular. Why are these? I'm getting like a weird selection of eBay finds. Yeah, I do not know why these are popping up.
So when you look at your old stuff and you're like, oh boy, what was I thinking 10 years ago? That's kind of a good sign, right? Because it means your eye is, there's much more scrutiny, and then your drawing ability is better, whereas it just shows growth, right?
Oh yeah, but still, it's also scary because it's like, oh, I couldn't see that back then. What's wrong with me?
Yeah. I think it's very typical. I mean, we all do that. I don't look at anything past 10 years ago.
Here we go. Look at this one. This one is, whew. This one right here. Woof.
So the question about, like, have you been drawing these correctly more than you've drawn them incorrectly, or have you spent more of your career drawing them incorrectly?
I think some of these are one-offs. You know, this was a commission sketch. It looks like it's on the back of a comic book board. So, you know, I probably did this fairly quickly in a few minutes. You know, when you're sketching very quickly, if you, let's see if we covered up the if we covered up the nose. Let me see if I can find the bottom.
Yeah, I think if you can show the top of her head, they always say like the head is, I mean, the eyes are at the halfway point of the upside down egg.
Yeah.
And you tend to put them slightly higher, and then the forehead kind of slopes back very quickly. You know, it's a look. A lot of times you see people from northern China, women have that look, and it's very exotic.
Well, this one I think it was just, you know, if you, the eyes and the forehead are okay. If we were to,
It is very
down,
different than what you draw now.
if we did the nose to the mouth, let me see if I did the nose to the mouth ratio without the eyes. Like, this is fine. This right now. But there's just this gap. So this one in particular, you know, it's like I look at it and it's like, ugh.
But that's a good sign because you've gotten better then.
Yeah, but this is you know, sometimes you like to go back and scrub the internet and then, you know, take out stuff.
Yeah, well, part of being a pro for a long time is that the work is out there and it's in public record, and yeah.
There's like one Superman cover I did. I was like, oh, I can't believe they paid me. And it was like, let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is.
It's like a real heartbreaking thing to have to go through, and anyone who becomes a professional and you've been drawing long enough, this is going to happen.
This one is like, oh.
So here's a question: like, if it was a cover from back then, and it's a prominent cover that you have and you can sell, but you just don't like the way you drew the face, subconsciously, would you sell it for less, or would you think that market value is that other people won't notice, and then you'll still demand top dollar for it?
I think it depends on the piece. I mean, like this is again another example of a longer nose on the Superman, and he has a. So if you cover up the screen, like if you covered up his nose and his mouth, and just look at the eyes and forehead, it's not bad. It's good. If you cover up the eyes and you just look at the nose and the mouth, it's not bad. The chin maybe should be a little bit bigger, or his jawline should be a little bit bigger. But then the combination of everything altogether, you know, like the body itself is not that bad. And then some of the other faces in the background, okay, decent. There's a Kryptonian in the background.
It is kind of painful for you to look at some of the stuff from the past.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. But I think at some point it's like watching old games. If I was a professional player and I had a bad game, watching the bad game, what did I learn from it?
Well, you know, like one of the best artists that we all celebrate now, Barry Windsor Smith, like when he drew women, he drew those like really big jaw, the chin and the jaw.
Yeah.
And you can be just fine as and famous as an artist, even though you have that kind of, it's almost like a little blind spot, and it becomes your like a trademark thing.
Yeah, I mean, every artist kind of has their own style in a sense, uh, and you buy it. Some people just buy into it, or some people don't even notice it. It's just or it's something that they like. So, um, just for myself, it's a growth, and I wouldn't say like every drawing that I did back then had that, but um, a lot of drawings had it, and then some drawings didn't.
I remember you were trying to repackage something you did back then to re-release, but you were going through every single face and then shortening the noses or just kind of moving things around in Photoshop. And you have to do it like run every single face through this process.
Yeah, if this drawing itself, like I'm looking at it, I think I can kind of see what's wrong. Um, if I were to turn on this is one of my favorite tools right here. This brush, this long brush, because then it very quickly clears up all of the eraser shavings. So if I were to go in the back, I can kind of see right now what's wrong with this drawing. The head itself it's okay. It's a little
Oh, so you mean
slightly
flip it over in a light box to see in mirror image? Okay, yeah. You know what's sad in the way that I draw, and I'm going to drop some real artist advice here. If I have to do a drawing like a cover, especially if it's 11 by 17, it's quite big. I'll draw the figure as best as I can, and it's kind of light because you're sketching, and then I don't really know if 10 years from now if I'm going to hate it. So I'm trying to find out, like, can I spot any of the problems now? And I have to be very careful and try to do the best job I can because it's my livelihood. So what I do is I scan it in. This is in a sketch stage. Scan it in, and then see it in Photoshop. But number one, reduce it down to size. So it's like the size of a playing card, and that changes. You can take it in, and a lot of mistakes will pop out right there. Also, in Photoshop, darken the pencil lines so that the light sketch lines become dark like ink lines. And then, as a third thing, flip it in mirror image. So there's 3 different ways that you're looking at it as opposed to real life, and then I can catch like maybe 80% of the mistakes just by seeing it in those 3 different ways, which is much smaller, much darker, and flipped in mirror image. And then I thought it was cool. I found this hack to catch all these future disappointing mistakes. I can kind of head them off and nip them in the bud in the development stage. The problem is then you go to a convention, you got to draw live, draw a sketch right there, and you're like, damn. I'm kind of like feel kind of naked because I can't scan it and I can't flip it, can't see it at a smaller size, and can't darken it, and can't do any of that, and it feels like I can't draw.
Sean, I use a similar technique, but I just take a picture with my phone.
Yes.
And then I look at it on the phone, and you can reduce it, and then you can play with the filters.
Yeah, you can flip it too. Yeah. You can flip it and filter. Yeah, so you can get most of all the Photoshop in a phone. So the only thing that worries me a little bit is if you don't, if you're not very careful the way you take a picture, it could keystone either way, and you can get the big head or the small head problem, and it can be a little bit deceptive. But you still can catch a lot of mistakes that way. And any artist who's obsessed with doing their best work knows to do this. So if anyone's not doing it, you're not getting their best work because they never figured it out and never had a desire to do their best work.
Well, they think their shit doesn't stink.
Yeah. I mean, there's blind spots.
So by flipping it here, I'm seeing that the initial drawing, it's okay, but it's a little stiff. I kind of want to bring out maybe one arm, so that his left arm, so that he's maybe twisting his body a little bit.
A little asymmetry. Always
Yeah.
need asymmetry.
And then somehow figure out what the arms are doing. Now I don't want to get too much into like a running pose, but
You're gonna draw all the smoke come in the background.
well, he's still gonna come out of the smoke. Yeah, that's gonna be the thing that's gonna, I think, gonna tie everything together. And I get a little bit of a twist in the torso. And then his leg is gonna come right at us. Just need to figure out something with his hand. Whether his hand is open. I mean, a lot of times what I like to do is I like to sketch it out and then leave it, and then come back at it at another time. I can see something. Like even this with his arm here, it's cocked it back a little bit, so that also the ring comes a little bit. Kyle Rayner has a ring, right? He's not one of those guys that don't have a ring. All right, well, time to get out of here. Let's we got any more artwork to give out? What was the other piece that anybody mention the grifter piece? Did anybody claim the grifter piece? I think it might have been Steve, but
Also, if anyone here has supported my Kickstarter, just hey, I don't get to see who, because this is Carl gets all that stuff. So sometimes like I see people and then they just back me for like hundreds of dollars, and I have no idea that they did. And I'm talking to them like I'm just kind of a jerk because I never said thank you. So there's a lot of people that back the campaign. I have no idea until it's over, or if Carl sends me a screenshot of all the backers. But if you did, shout it out, and then so I can properly acknowledge that we are now best friends. So, and if you haven't backed, give it a look. Evermind on Kickstarter. We got one more week, I think, before it all goes in. Kickstarter is on strike, so it's taking a huge chunk out of the campaign.
what do you mean they're on strike? What's happening?
Kickstarter is like the only people who are in the office are the non-union people, and so Kickstarter went on strike because they wanted more money, more services, I think, and they have been at an impasse for so long, so they finally went on strike right as our campaign started, and we went ahead and did it anyways. But usually there are some campaigns that get special attention, and ours was one of them because of the involvement of Daniel Wu and the fact that there's like Asian run and everything. So they usually put out a lot of blasts and make sure they kind of shepherd our campaign all the way through and make sure it ends strong and everything. They're all out to lunch now because of the strike. So the offices are empty except for like some of the people who are not on strike. So they're not really staffed. So everyone who has a campaign right now is basically it's on autopilot.
Will they give you additional days for the campaign due to the strike?
Well, with the strike, nothing is known yet. It's just they kind of figure it out as they go along.
Isn't there some kind of controversy with the owners of Kickstarter, or was that
I'm sure there always is. I don't know.
okay? Yeah, well, I kind of like this a little bit better, but
This is still the backside of the paper.
yeah,
Do you ever forget that you're working on the backside and think it's the front, and then you turn it in?
no, no, no. I would have to be completely checked out.
Well, sometimes I work on the back and front. I switch so much because I'm working so hard to do a good job. I forget it actually ends up being the same. Like the front and the back look exactly the same, and then I get mixed up.
Overall, I would still wish like this figure was moved up a little bit more. I just still don't like this pose. There's something really stiff about it.
You go through this when you're drawing interior pages.
Yeah, but since I'm doing it digitally, I can, erase. Or what I'll do is I'll take this piece, and then once they make an announcement on the book Thursday, I can show you some examples where if I'm drawing this digitally, I'll actually lasso it, copy, and paste this on a separate file, and then redraw it completely. So I saved it somewhere else in case I want to look at it later and like it later and reuse it. Different poses or different figures that I've drawn. So in some pages I've drawn like, same thing where I'm drawing a figure, I've drawn it like 3, 4, 5 times. And then 2 or 3 of the versions I've copy pasted and saved it on another file to maybe use later on in a book in another area or later on in another project or something. But that would be, the extent of it. This one, I just, it's a little too stiff, and I'd like to move it up. There's no title up here. We're so used to having a lot of space up top drawing because we're used to having a title.
Or word balloons.
Yeah, word balloons. That I think this one, for this pose, I much would have rather preferred. Again, I should have sketched it out smaller. His head being a little further down. Yeah, doing a smaller sketch would have really helped. Instead of on this one, and then what I've been trying to do lately a little bit is to tilt the head a little bit, just to give it a little bit of like, this guy's.
You know how I think we've become, and maybe because I'm always watching you draw. We have this allergy towards any hint of stiffness and any hint of like not the character not being completely present in the emotions of the scene, so that every figure ends up being fluid. Every action pose is extremely fluid, where nothing lines up with the border, and the spine is always twisted. So it's basically every figure is firing on all cylinders when it comes to dynamics or expressing emotions. And you've redrawn things over and over again, and that to the point where I'm doing the same thing, where it has to be 100% about whatever is going on. And then you go look at some other comics that other people do, and it's just not even on their radar to do that. Especially if you look at some like Silver Age stuff, where it is just so stiff and so undynamic. But it's still okay because I think the readers kind of know what you're going for, and they don't really notice that it's not firing on all cylinders. But just to see like you struggling with this and also drawing it over and over again as if it really mattered, because it seemed like to other artists it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah, I read a book recently where like it's beautifully drawn, but all the figures are like just stiff. Like all the mouths are closed, and um, the guy could
Yeah,
draw, but they weren't really focused on story. They were just focused on drawing pretty people. Um,
yeah. But I mean, you can still make a comic like that. You know,
you know.
I think most comics are like that actually. So
All right. What do we got here? Hold on. What do we got here?
now you're doing a group shot.
Am I missing? Poop Kid is here. Okay, Poop Kid's in chat. So Simple Man knows AutoCAD.
Oh wow, out of that.
I remember there was a device in my art college that was called a Lucy.
Yeah, that's the tracing device.
Dr. Midnight, okay. And then also, if you're watching up until now, I forgot to mention earlier, let's put a link to that YouTube thing.
Oh yeah,
Make sure
you
you
should
guys
watch it, like it, comment.
put a like on it. The Monkey King, Discovery Southwest. I haven't even mentioned. I haven't streamed since that's been out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Gotta tell
So
people about it.
it's 7 minutes long, but watch it. Let me see, what is the link? It's been out 3
You
weeks.
see, Bernard, it was someone like you were gonna start learning martial arts or something.
Well, it's funny because like I went and visited like 3 different places. One was the old Beijing opera mask dude who, for his whole life practiced martial arts and performance. And then we went to a comic book convention in Guangzhou, China. And it was, I want to say it wasn't as big as New York. The square footage was as big as New York, but it wasn't as massive as New York. But there were a lot of people, and they were all in cosplay too. So it was more, and it's more manga than. I didn't see any. I saw a few Marvel DC characters, not a lot. So there's the link on the YouTube. Let me see if I can play that.
蓬勃的，我们
Sean, anything else before we get out of here?
I don't know. It's just the Kickstarter is what I'm doing. In that time, the Hell month during the Kickstarter, I'm required to go on all of these live streams and then make a lot of these appearances at these shows. So you can always catch me talking about the book. You can chime in, ask a stupid question, so that I can, you can be part of it, and I will answer you. It can be funny.
Okay, so if you're watching this right now, please go and click on the link and watch and hit the like. Let's get that up to let's get that number up a little bit. Because then I can afford shipping to New Zealand. I wouldn't have to cut it up as a postcard. We have one more piece to give away, right? Or 1 or 2 more pieces. Sean, you want to text me a number between 1 and 100, and we have the grifter to give out. Where's the grifter? Whoa, what's going on here? We have the grifter.
I guess Superman's asking like on what level you should pledge. And there's a lot of different things there's a lot of different tiers, but don't whatever you want. It's great. I mean, you can give as little as $1 to support the campaign.
Is there a best
Uh,
friends tier?
Yeah. Well,
Is there a
there's one
super
where you
friends
get
tier?
nothing. Like, yeah. I think it goes up all the way to like almost $1,000 that you can get stuff for.
Well, see this guy in this video, he had a Monkey King outfit. He says his friends helped him make it, but I think he got the mask. I think he bought the mask. I don't think he.
For sure.
But maybe some of the other stuff he might have made. By the way, I'm sponsored by Epic Props, my clothing. You can see.
Oh yeah.
So like it's a huge space. You can see the space in the background, but it's not as like packed or congested as New York. But it was like these three buildings, or two or three buildings, and multiple levels on each building. So, yeah, you can see kind of how big it is. But yeah, let me see this. You can see how big it is. This is just like one entry corner. But New York definitely. They say they had 200,000 people there, possibly I think over the entire weekend. But not like in one day. This guy had a cool outfit. I think he made some of this. Next week we'll go over the video in its entirety. It's kind of funny because there were some funny moments that they cut out. These were some girls that were dressed as traditional.
Did you notice, like, when we did the big signing with Daniel Wu, all the girls that were in that line were just Chinese girls, and English was not their first language. Some of them didn't speak English that much at all. Their cosplays were just incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they can. I don't know. They go all out. Yeah, it looks like they spend money on it, and also they're incredibly fit. So I think they think that part of the look is to have the same body type as what they're trying to cosplay as.
Yeah, I mean everybody is kind of they're a little bit more fit overseas. Some of these outfits, some definitely were like store bought, but then there was also a lot of them were kind of like a combination of handmade. I wouldn't really say. I kind of miss like the old days where you see like a cardboard Iron Man. I thought those were fun. Like people that use like, you could tell they made it homemade. It wasn't like up to a professional level yet, but nowadays you get a really big mix. All right. Anyways,
Someone says they won the grifter.
who won the grifter? Okay. Lurky Lurk? Who? Nicholas Camargo?
Yes. Huh, I never heard that name before.
Nico's Blue? Did you
Talk about
text me?
grifter.
Nico's Blue. All right, well,
Okay.
Okay, if that is the case, Nico, did you DM me your address on Instagram? Nico.
Here's a good question about cosplay. It says all those people there are cosplaying. Are they copying an American custom, or because the word cosplay comes from Japan? So
Yeah.
Where is it coming from? Like, where did it start, and who popularized it? And is this something we just stole from Japan, or?
Well, I think cosplay. I mean, I don't know. We should dig into that a little bit. So Nico's Blue won the grifter. So we just have the butthead to give out then.
Oh, he was living in Australia.
Oh,
and is
Nico's
now in
Blue lives in
Colombia.
Australia?
Did at the time they won, but now is in Colombia.
Oh, okay.
District of Columbia, because that would really help.
Are you gonna move to the U.S. in a year? I mean, you're making your
Yes.
way closer.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the butthead sketch. Sean, text me a number between 1 and 100.
Okay.
Did anyone ask me about Taiwan? James quote. What does that mean? So this is open to everybody in chat. This is a personal sketch of Butthead. He might look like a girl, but he does have eyelashes. Butthead, wake up. Come here. Come here. All right. Let's go up. Oh, he flew away. He saw his reflection and then he got scared. Okay. Is that it for the guessing of the Butthead sketch? I will try to get all of these in the mail soon. So that means somebody must have won the Wonder Woman. Somebody must have won the Wonder Woman. Who won the Wonder Woman? If Nico's Blue won the Grifter, and I'm assuming we did all of them at the same time. Anybody else? No more guessers? Is Lurky Lurk locking it up?
Did I remember this correctly? You know, back in the Valiant days when we had the Valiant Signature Series, I think we had to sign like 1,000 comics, or maybe more, maybe 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had this thing where you had this chop,
Yeah, that was a pain in the ass.
and you were gonna chop every single one of them.
Yeah, those are the young, naive days. Yeah, and the chop didn't dry that well, so I think it was quickly scrapped. Okay, so it's locked up. Lurky Lurk locked it up. Sean, the number you texted me was 42?
Yep, like the universe and everything.
42. So the closest is Kevin P. West, 31, without going over. Congratulations, Kevin P. West. And you get a nice drawing of Peppa the Pig and actual pig.
Peppa Pig.
What were these things? What were these? Zits, or what were these things? There's Beavis and Butthead and a Cubert. So Kevin. All right, apologies if you won this a year ago or 2 years ago. It's being regifted. It's Kevin P. West. And if your address has
Beavis and
changed.
Butthead is back again.
Huh?
Beavis and Butthead is returning again.
Oh,
to
are
TV.
they? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We did not accomplish today's task. Sorry, Carson
It's
McKinney.
useful.
Hope you guys learned something. Evermind, Sean, what's the link?
Evermind on Kickstarter. Yeah, I think Eugene put it up, or just look up Kickstarter Evermind, not Nevermind, Evermind, and you will see it. At this point, there's that donate because I'm a cool guy, and you can donate as little as $1.
What will that get them? Will they get them one page?
Well, you get a pat on the back if I ever see you at a convention.
How about just giving them one page, like a preview page?
Okay. All right, I'll give you some an entire page of original art.
Digital page. Like
digital. Okay, yeah, digital.
Digital page. A high five, says Lurky Lurk. And then make sure to watch that YouTube, please. Watch the YouTube, and then hit the like button on that YouTube.
and maybe leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Well, just hit the like and the watch is more important. But comment is good. And then we'll be back next week, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
Deadlines. Yojimbo, thank you for moderating. Everybody else, thank you for watching. Stay safe. Did the Dodgers lose tonight? I hope so. Anyways. Happy holiday. Oh, who should we raid?
Raid.
Amarath? Anybody we know? Any art? What is this? Chuckudin. Chuckudin. Anyone? Let's raid Chuckudin. He's drawing manga. Looks like he's drawing some background. What? Environments? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. See you next Tuesday.
Okay. Are we out?